In today's modern world, what if we tell you the races are being treated differently in front of the law? Just because someone is white, they might get away with crimes, while someone who is black might face harsh consequences. This is not a new problem. It has been happening for a long time. Seeing this unfair treatment in 2024 is sad. But why haven't countries overcome this issue yet? Recently in Africa, illegal white immigrants have been caught, but they easily get away with their crimes because the Western authorities forced Africa to let them go. Why are races treated differently in front of the law? Who is responsible for this? Let's find out. Legal systems treat you differently because of the color of your skin. Within legal systems, numerous examples of race-based discriminatory practices cast a shadow over the goal of justice. These practices highlight the persistent challenges marginalized communities face, revealing a system that falls short of the ideals of fairness and equality. The following instances provide a glimpse into the deeply ingrained disparities within the legal framework. Racial profiling stands out as an example of discrimination within law enforcement. This practice involves the unwarranted targeting of individuals for suspicion of crimes solely based on their race, ethnicity, or national origin. The consequences of racial profiling extend beyond individual cases, perpetuating mistrust and eroding the foundation of a just society. A disturbing pattern emerges in the criminal justice system, where people of color bear a disproportionate burden. Higher rates of arrest, conviction, and sentencing for individuals from marginalized communities highlight systemic biases that demand immediate attention. These disparities not only damage the credibility of the legal system, but also contribute to the perpetuation of social inequities. Jury selection, a seemingly impartial process, is not immune to discriminatory practices. Exclusion based on race or ethnicity taints the jury's objectivity, compromising the integrity of the legal proceedings. This damages the principle that an unbiased and representative jury should determine a fair trial. Schools and campuses, ostensibly spaces of enlightenment, are not exempt from discriminatory practices. Segregation of classes or school-sponsored activities based on students' race, ethnicity, or national origin persists, perpetuating divisions among the student body. Denial of language services to English learners and the unequal provision of resources based on racial or ethnic backgrounds further entrenched educational disparities. These examples collectively paint a sobering picture of a legal system grappling with deeply rooted discriminatory practices. Acknowledging these issues is the first step toward dismantling the structures perpetuating injustice. Legal institutions must confront these systemic biases, reassess policies, and actively work towards creating an environment where justice is impartial to race, ethnicity, or national origin. And what is the treatment of races in Africa? Is Africa forced to prioritize white people over black people? In the picturesque landscapes of Africa, where tourism beckons with its enchanting beauty, a different narrative unfolds when we delve into the complexities of immigration. It's a discussion that unveils disparities and raises questions about the treatment of various races globally, bringing to light a reality that may surprise many. A discussion about immigration in South Africa starkly contrasts the idyllic scenes presented to tourists. One particular concern that has garnered attention is the unequal treatment of different races, a topic often pushed to the sidelines. Surprisingly, it centers around the existence of approximately 2 million illegal white immigrants in the country. This revelation challenges the common immigration narrative, urging us to recognize that the issue extends beyond racial stereotypes. It forces us to confront the complexities and contradictions within the immigration system. South Africa, a nation celebrated for its diversity, has become a pot of cultures, races, and backgrounds. However, beneath the surface lies a set of challenges that test the resilience of the Rainbow Nation. The presence of a significant number of illegal white immigrants sheds light on the multifaceted nature of immigration issues, transcending the boundaries of color. Why are they still present there? And why is the international community not reacting? It's essential to approach this topic sensitively, acknowledging the concerns and sentiments of all individuals involved. The focus should be fostering a dialogue that encourages understanding rather than perpetuating stereotypes or creating division. In dissecting the contrasting realities of immigration, it becomes evident that the issue is not exclusive to South Africa, but is a global phenomenon. Each country grapples with unique challenges, and South Africa is no exception. Many factors, including economic opportunities, political instability, and global inequalities, influence the dynamics of immigration. For the 2 million illegal white immigrants in South Africa, their stories are as diverse as the backgrounds they come from. Some may have arrived seeking economic opportunities, while others may have fled political instability in their home countries. But why are illegal white immigrants enjoying privileges in South Africa? Delving into the lives of the illegal white immigrants in South Africa, primarily from Italy, Portugal, and England, provides a unique perspective on the immigration landscape. Despite their undocumented status, these individuals seem to navigate their lives with a certain level of protection and privilege that raises eyebrows. In a surprising twist, these immigrants find themselves employed by white South Africans in prestigious companies, enjoying substantial incomes that often exceed 100,000 Rand annually. This revelation challenges the common narrative of the struggles faced by illegal immigrants, as it appears that these individuals have carved out a comfortable niche for themselves within the South African job market. The protection afforded to these illegal white immigrants extends beyond employment opportunities. Astonishingly, they utilize European passports and driver's licenses without the scrutiny typically associated with a legal residency. This peculiar phenomenon sheds light on the complexities and loopholes within the immigration system, where some individuals seemingly operate above the law. Even more intriguing is the longevity of their illegal stay in South Africa. Some have been residing in the country for over a decade, yet instead of facing challenges, they thrive in high-paying positions. This prompts a closer examination of the factors that contribute to their success, raising questions about the enforcement and effectiveness of immigration policies in the country. Living in luxury without tax obligations to the South African government, these illegal white immigrants seem to exist in a parallel reality. This stark contrast to the common narrative of immigrants facing hardships and legal challenges prompts a re-evaluation of our understanding of the immigration experience in South Africa. The privileged status of these illegal white immigrants challenges the notion that all undocumented individuals face uniform struggles. Does the presence of illegal immigrants strain the South African system? In the world of immigration in South Africa, the strain on the system and the presence of illegal white immigrants are not secret matters. The informant reveals that both the South African government and immigration authorities possess official statistics documenting the existence of these undocumented individuals. However, a curious silence surrounds the issue, leaving many to ponder the reasons behind the lack of action. Official statistics confirm the strain on the system caused by the influx of illegal white immigrants. This strain extends beyond administrative challenges to impact local employment, creating a ripple effect that influences the broader community. Despite this, the government has not yet addressed the situation with the urgency it demands. But why does silence prevail on this matter? As the strain on the system becomes increasingly evident, there is a growing need for transparency and open discourse. The absence of a proactive response from the government raises concerns about the potential consequences for the broader community and the principles of fairness and justice. The call for resolution is not punitive measures, but a plea for a balanced and just approach. It is an appeal to address the complexities of immigration issues with a comprehensive strategy that considers the welfare of undocumented individuals and the local population. The absence of action creates an atmosphere of uncertainty and unease, fostering an environment where systemic issues can thrive. In seeking a resolution, the government is urged to step into the conversation and actively engage with the challenges posed by the presence of illegal white immigrants. This involves reassessing existing policies, closing loopholes, and ensuring the immigration system functions equitably. The ultimate goal is to establish a framework that upholds the principles of justice, fairness, and inclusivity. Is the silence on illegal immigration a wider issue across Africa, considering the pressure imposed by the West? As we get into the immigration issues in South Africa, it becomes evident that the challenges extend far beyond its borders. The discussion broadens to encompass other African nations grappling with similar issues, shedding light on a widespread predicament that demands attention. While the spotlight is on South Africa, the disparities in treatment are reflected across the continent. The revelation of privilege enjoyed by illegal white immigrants in South Africa stands in contrast to the discrimination frequently faced by legal African travelers outside the continent. It's a harsh juxtaposition that highlights the need for a collective effort to address the imbalance in treatment and strive for a fair and just society for all African residents. South Africa's unique immigration challenges serve as a microcosm for the broader issues African nations face. The conversation must extend beyond national boundaries, fostering a Pan-African dialogue confronting the shared struggles and aspirations of the continent's diverse population. What challenges is Africa facing when it comes to immigration policies? Here's a reminder to please like and share the video, and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and identity. Let's continue now. The quest for effective immigration policies in African nations encounters many challenges, as reflected in search results and expert insights. These hurdles, stemming from various factors, highlight the complexity of the task for governments across the continent. One prominent challenge lies in the struggle to roll out extensive migration policies, primarily due to a shortage of migration data, insufficient capacity, and limited resources. The absence of a robust foundation impedes the formulation of well-informed policies, hindering governments from effectively managing the complexities associated with immigration. Additionally, implementing national-level migration policies faces institutional weaknesses and resource constraints. This creates a gap between policy formulation and execution, leaving the intended measures inadequately enforced. Strengthening institutional capabilities and allocating resources efficiently are crucial steps toward bridging this implementation gap. The delicate balance between safeguarding the employment opportunities of native citizens and navigating diplomatic relations with neighboring countries poses yet another challenge. Governments grapple with the tension between protecting local jobs and avoiding strained relationships with neighboring nations, highlighting the complex diplomatic dance required in crafting immigration policies. Anti-immigrant sentiment within some African countries adds a layer of complexity to the political landscape. Governments find themselves at a crossroads, tasked with protecting the employment prospects of their poor citizens while avoiding measures that may fuel xenophobia. Striking a delicate balance that addresses economic concerns without exacerbating anti-immigrant sentiments is a formidable political dilemma. Is Africa forced by someone to give relaxation to white immigrants? In recent discussions, there has been a concern raised about whether Western nations are pressuring Africa to provide special treatment to white immigrants. Let's delve into this topic in simpler terms to gain a better understanding. Yes, there is a perception that Africa is under pressure from Western countries to offer favorable conditions to white immigrants. The claim suggests that white immigrants enjoy certain privileges without the full backing of the state, and this is believed to be influenced by the leaders who allegedly receive benefits from the white population. It's important to note that these assertions may be rooted in various factors, including historical contexts and geopolitical dynamics. Experts argue that the influence of Western nations on African policies regarding white immigrants may be linked to a complex web of power dynamics and historical relationships. Now, what happens if Black people illegally enter white people's nations? Are they treated the same? The consequences faced by individuals identified as illegal immigrants in Western nations are both diverse and are not, like how white people are treated in Africa. The impact of being caught without the requisite legal documentation can profoundly shape their lives and raise questions about the intersection of immigration policies, human rights, and social dynamics. Illegal immigrants, also known as undocumented or unauthorized immigrants, are individuals who lack the necessary legal documentation to reside in a specific country. The term encompasses diverse people with varied backgrounds, motivations, and circumstances. When caught, the consequences they face depend heavily on the immigration policies and laws of the country. One of the immediate and tangible consequences for illegal immigrants is detention. Law enforcement agencies or border control authorities may apprehend them, holding them in facilities until their legal status is determined or until deportation proceedings are initiated. This period of detention adds a layer of uncertainty and stress to the lives of those caught in the complex machinery of immigration enforcement, especially Black people. Deportation, or removal proceedings, is a common outcome for individuals found to be in a country illegally. This involves the formal process of expelling individuals from the country. The prospect of being uprooted from one's established life and returned to their country of origin carries significant emotional, social, and economic implications. Deportation is not merely a legal process, but a life-altering event with far-reaching consequences for the individuals involved and their families. In certain cases, illegal immigrants may find themselves facing criminal charges, amplifying the complexity of their situation. These charges can range from criminal trespassing to other related offenses. The criminalization of immigration status adds a layer of complexity to the legal landscape, raising questions about the intersection of immigration and criminal law. Depending on the laws of the country, illegal immigrants may be subject to fines or other penalties for entering or staying without proper documentation. These financial consequences can worsen individuals' challenges in vulnerable economic situations. The imposition of fines adds an economic dimension to the overall impact of being caught as an illegal immigrant. Beyond the legal and enforcement aspects, Black illegal immigrants often encounter restricted access to essential public services. Healthcare, education, and social welfare programs may become elusive due to their lack of legal status. This limitation affects the individuals directly and has broader implications for social cohesion and public health. And what is the behavior in white people's nations with Black criminals overall? The treatment of Black individuals within the criminal justice system in the United States has become a focal point of concern and extensive research. The disparities between Black and white Americans' perspectives on the criminal justice system are evident, reflecting deeply rooted issues that extend from police encounters to sentencing. Public opinion plays a crucial role in understanding the dynamics of the criminal justice system. A Pew Research Center survey revealed a stark divergence in views, with around 9 in 10 Black adults expressing the belief that Blacks are generally treated less fairly by the criminal justice system. In contrast, a significantly smaller majority of white adults shared this perspective. This divergence highlights disparate experiences and perceptions among different racial groups. Studies have consistently shown that Black Americans face disproportionate treatment within the criminal justice system. From police interactions to sentencing, racial disparities persist. Research indicates that Black individuals are more likely to be stopped by the police, detained, and subjected to harsher sentences compared to their white counterparts. These inequities reflect systemic challenges deeply embedded in the criminal justice system. The racial disparities in the criminal justice system are deeply rooted in a history of oppression and discriminatory decision-making. Historical injustices, such as discriminatory policing practices and sentencing policies, have perpetuated systemic inequities that continue to impact Black individuals today. Despite similar rates of drug use between Black and white populations, there is evidence of disproportionate rates of criminal justice contact and imprisonment for Black individuals. This phenomenon raises questions about the factors contributing to the overrepresentation of Black individuals within the criminal justice system. In the wake of recent incidents involving white immigrants caught in Africa, there is a growing concern over the disparity in reactions compared to the treatment of Black individuals within the criminal justice system in the United States. The perception that it is the responsibility of Black people to provide privilege to white individuals with the expectation of fair treatment in return raises important questions about equity, responsibility, and the need for a global reevaluation. The recent incidents involving white immigrants in Africa have brought to light a concerning double standard in the global perception of racial issues. While the treatment of Black individuals within the U.S. criminal justice system has sparked widespread concern and calls for reform, incidents involving white individuals caught in Africa seem to be treated with less urgency and gravity. This apparent discrepancy raises important questions about the global understanding of privilege and the responsibility associated with it. The assumption that black individuals should provide privilege to white people and, in return, expect fair treatment reflects deeply ingrained biases that need to be challenged. The notion that it is the responsibility of one racial group to provide privilege to another perpetuates harmful stereotypes and undermines the principles of equality. Responsibility for fair treatment should not be based on race. Instead, it should be a shared commitment among individuals and nations to uphold justice and human rights. Privilege in any form should not be a transactional concept. It is essential to recognize that dismantling systemic inequalities requires collective efforts and a commitment to addressing issues at their roots. The focus should shift from assigning responsibilities based on race to fostering understanding, empathy, and collaboration across diverse communities. The recent incidents serve as a reminder that racial dynamics are not confined to a specific region or country. They are global issues that demand a comprehensive and nuanced approach. Re-evaluating how societies perceive and respond to racial incidents is imperative to ensure a more just and inclusive world. Promoting cultural sensitivity on a global scale is crucial. Understanding and appreciating diverse cultures can help break down stereotypes and foster a more inclusive and tolerant world. Implementing educational initiatives that emphasize the shared humanity of all individuals, regardless of their race, is essential. Education is pivotal in challenging biases and fostering a more informed and open-minded global community. Encouraging international collaboration to address racial disparities and injustices can lead to more effective solutions. Shared experiences, challenges, and successes can serve as a foundation for building a global community committed to equality. The media plays a significant role in shaping public perceptions. Ensuring accurate and diverse representation in media can contribute to dismantling stereotypes and promoting a more inclusive understanding of different racial and ethnic groups. Do you think at least the law should treat African and Western people the same? Is it the African leaders' fault? How will this ever end? How to stop racism in law? Let us know in the comments section why Africa still faces suppression by the West in the comments section. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody talks about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and evidence about how glorious Blacks have been. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
Deposit Photos Music.